Going to go through the book a little bit that I wrote called The Choice, and it's living the law of one. So what is the law of one? Well, let's read that part, because in the beginning here, there's some definitions, just because the book has some definitions that aren't that straightforward. They mean differently than what a lot of people think. The law of one. The law of one states that all things are one, that there is no polarity. Polarity is this and that. Polarity is true and false, left and right, up and down, good and bad. Polarity. There's no right and wrong, no disharmony, but only identity. So what that means by only identity is we all are actually a part of the one awareness that is us all. And my personality, call it my personality, Javon. If you say, hey, Javon, I'll say, yes, that's me. Well, why is that? Well, this personality, this separate ego has this separate identity, and it's really borrowing or taking on or labeling awareness as its own separate individual. So that's why I can say I'm separate from you. That's not real. We're actually all sharing the same one awareness. It's single awareness that we all share. It's what it's the spark that's within us, that when the spark leaves, even if the body is still here, you know that person's dead. We can tell these things even without these ideas, this book of ideas or this book of thoughts or words. It doesn't need this description for us to know these things. So there is only one playing all the seemingly separate roles of all people, places, and things, all existence. All is one, and that is the love, light, love of the infinite creator. So the law of one, the book, you can look it up on Amazon. It's called The Raw Contact. It goes into a lot about love, light, and light, love. And light, to use some other language, would be considered the masculine energy of God, and love could be considered the feminine energy. Sound and light is another way to put it. So they all work together in giving us this experience and energizing us. And the part of the law of one that I think is important for us to consider, especially in the climate that we're in, is that we're all part of the same thing. We're all cells in the same body. And we get all riled up, especially in this COVID thing, when people think differently from you. And, I've posted stuff online and people are saying nasty things to me because they feel like I'm attacking them because I'm suggesting there could be a better alternative to this pandemic than doing what the FDA says, the CDC. And so is that a death threat to your children for me to say that? Well, I don't think so. However, it's easier to take those kind of conclusions if you think that I'm separate from you. It's easier to consider what other people say they're different if you consider me as part of you. Or even the law of one says that each one of us are a part of God. And if you go even deeper in it, everyone is God in the essence, not the personality, the separate thing that's been hijacked by the ego, but the essence of each one of us is really God having this experience, having a wonderful, unique, extravagant experience that only you can have, and God gets to enjoy it. And if we all end up leaving our body and coming back to what we've always been, which is unity, and we come back to that one awareness instead of in this body thinking that I'm separate and that I can die and that I can have loss and that I'm going to lose you and I'm going to lose this world when I step away, those kind of things. Once I leave that and realize that we're all going to go back to the same oneness, I can start to act on that right now. I can see you as God, which is even a bigger step than just saying, hey, God's within you somewhere. You have the spark of life within you somewhere. You're an asshole, but way down deep, there's a spark of life, the spark of life from God. But what if I can see you as God showing up to love me and to help me and to draw out from within me uh, the biases that I have, that I can surrender and I can forgive and I can accept and learn how to love better. Because what better person to do that than someone that I consider a jerk or someone that hates me or things like that. They're perfect for that. So the law of one, we're not as separate as you think.